So today we're going to be going over the personalized picture wizard. Now this is the new AI feature for 2023 that basically allows you to more or less let the picture do all the adjustments and analysis for you using AI. So we're gonna hit the start here, and they basically allow you to choose, like, out of a bunch of different patterns, you can select up to 2 that you prefer. So it's kind of weird in a way that, like, when you look at these images, I mean, immediately for me, I would select that one. Let's see. It's hard because when I look at these images, I only see really 2 that I kind of like. I don't like the whole washed out sky look. So we're going to go to the next one. Now they're going to ask about mountains. Immediately I want that one. Let's see. I hate that one. Hate that one. That one's overblown. It's either going to be that one or that one. That one's kind of washed, so we're going to go with this one, right? We're going to go to the next one. Immediately that one. And, well, that one's kind of overblown as well. I don't really like all the ones that are overblown. That looks pretty good there. And that has pretty good detail there as well. Okay. Immediately that one. Immediately that one. And they'll give you like 8 pictures, and you basically are going through more or less from what it seems like, and you're selecting your preference. So I don't know what this will do in the end, but it's going to be interesting to find out. And I wanted to record this part of it because I haven't seen anyone really talk about how this works. Okay, so I don't know. I love the detail in the flowers here, but this also has great detail. But that did catch my eye first, so that's how we're going to do this. Whatever catches my eye first with the best amount of detail and clarity, that's what I'm going to go with. So I'm going to go with that one. And next. Now, it's using the algorithm to fine-tune things. And I guess they say you like a warm and balanced picture. So, I mean, for the most part, it seems like it understands. But let's see what this translates to with actual content. Okay, so this is what it looks like in Spy Family with my settings, right? Now let's see what the preference is. Okay, so we're going to go to their warm. It gets very cool. It's funny that they call that warm. I think for LG, they don't really know what warm is, but this is what they're calling my preference, right? It's very cool. We can see a lot of that in her face here. And it's supposedly warm and balanced. So I don't know what AI is doing, but it seems like when there's brightness on the screen, they tend to make it really cool, versus like when you put in actual settings, how it just kind of looks how it's supposed to look. I don't know. Let's try that again. Let's see. So, I mean, like, out of a series of 8 images, they comprise that I like warm and balanced, which, again, really cool that this is pretty much the first algorithm in the TV world that does this to try to make setting up your TV easier. But it's kind of cool still. Like, Am I wrong in that? I don't know. It looks pretty cool to me. Comparatively, of course, to the settings that I have here for applications. I'm using the internal app through the TV, by the way, right now. So this isn't with HDMI correction or anything. And this is what it looks like. So a great deal more color and stuff coming through with the way I set up TVs. I think this image would be pretty good to use, just simply because it shows a lot of color and there's a lot of highlights coming through on your. So what we're going to do is show you what we've got here, okay? So this is with my cinema settings, but with the power of AI, we can get a warm and balanced picture without having to really know much or do anything. And that's the warm and balanced picture versus that. Now, comparatively, let's also see what Filmmaker Mode does. Yikes. Okay, that was not good. So the personalized wizard is actually far better than what Filmmaker does, in my personal opinion, in terms of like giving color and like realism. Filmmaker Mode is dimming things out and washing things out. Now, of course, this is the AI's assessment of what my preference would be. This is how I actually set up the television. A big difference. And then, of course, this is comparatively Filmmaker Mode. So in real time, you're able to see these changes and what they do to an image. And I think the important thing about this is because for years, I try to tell you guys, like, Filmmaker Mode is backed by the UHD Alliance, which is comprised of, like, all of the big corporations. And this is kind of, like, the best they can do. And I don't know, man, maybe AI in a couple of years will get to the point where they can outdo them because they already have more vibrancy, obviously, than what Filmmaker Mode does. And Filmmaker Mode will tell you on their website, we just turn off everything, wash everything out. Basically, it's what they call purist, but it's just washed out, outdated imagery. So I'm not really a fan of it, obviously, but some people like it. I'm not one of them. But this looks pretty good. I mean, like in terms of like how much highlight detail at least they were able to capture, it's still really cool, which I'm not understanding. I feel like anytime there are highlights, LG's algorithm is still leaning towards a really cool color temperature, which again, I don't know what that's all about, because if the preference is warm, it really should be warm. So in a real world application using actual content, it's just not holding the warmth. So let's put some human beings up on the screen and see if it can match my settings or surpass Filmmaker Mode at all. And while we're at it, why not hit ISF's preset? I think honestly, it's a lot closer to the ISF Bright preset, but better in that you have more detail. So that's a cool little find there, but still a long ways to go before it matches what I do. Okay, so now we're in Cinema Mode again with the Cinema user settings. And now we're going to try to compare this with using a human being. We have Katy Perry here on American Idol. Very real world example. And can the personalized picture preset match? Well, no. So instead of giving us a warm picture, it ends up giving us a very cool picture. And to compare it, here's vivid mode and here's the warm mode. It is slightly warmer than vivid. Let's see if it can go to standard. Can it compete with standard? Slightly warmer than standard, but again, not by a terrible bunch. Let's try auto power saving mode. Again, not by a terrible bunch. It's a relatively cool picture. Now let's try to go to that ISF Bright setting again. And ISF's Bright preset looks a lot better than this. This has more contrast, but it's over sharpened for one thing. So in this particular example, it's not really being done justice. Let's go to ISF Dark, right? That's just really dim and washes out. Okay, and let's go to Cinema, the settings that I prefer. And then we're going to go to the picture wizard. I don't know, in a nutshell, I think the feature will do okay with warming up the picture a bit for people that kind of want a more automated process, but it definitely still does have a long way to go. It'd be nice to see it actually take more aggressive approaches towards giving the results that you like, but all will be revealed in due time. Maybe they add more images to get more of an eclectic amount of options for you as far as how they set up, because that's a far cry from how I actually set up my television. So hopefully this showed you something. Thanks for watching the #1 Brand in Honesty, and until the next video, I'll see you guys later.